Do you wear aftershave, Karl?
Normally, aftershave is the sort of thing I let other people buy me. It's like underpants, tea towels, and sort of aftershave and that. Other people buying me.
Who's buying you tea towels?
My mum.
Right,
My
okay.
every time she turns up, she's got Brilla pads and stuff. I've got loads of them. I keep saying to her, I don't need any of this, but she always brings a box full of stuff. Brilla pads, tea towels, underpants. The underpants size hasn't gone up since I was 14. But I can rely on her for that.
So do you not have anything in your life which you would think of as being gentlemanly? Do you ever dress smartly? What about suits?
I bought one suit that time when you invited me to the BAFTAs. That's the only suit. I wore it for the BAFTAs. I think I wore it for one other thing. I haven't wore it since. I don't feel comfortable. It's not me.
But don't you go to a wedding?
That'd be a lovely advert, wouldn't it? Him with a suit on going, I haven't wore it since. Karl Pilkington hasn't wore it since.
I don't go to weddings. No, I don't like going to them.
I agree.
I mean, even though you know them, they don't give you any time when you're there, do they? They just they don't know whether you're there or not. They're on cloud nine. They don't know who's around. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be there.
With them, on a wedding day, it's all me, isn't it?
Oh, what are they like?
I know, unbelievable.
You don't even get to make a speech, do you?
Although I know you were annoyed, Steve. Steve doesn't like to part with money. I don't know what the politically correct term is. Stingy cunt, isn't he? He's fucking mean, right? And if he ever has to spend out on like a wedding gift to someone he's known, all his life, he'll look down the list and he'll find things under £25. Then if he bothers spending that much, he's furious when an usher goes, just stick it there.
Oh, it drives me insane. Well, firstly, I'm annoyed about the wedding list. I don't know when that's come along, because I don't know why I can't just bring maybe something I've made at home. No. Why has there got to be a list of stuff?
What newly married bride doesn't want a pair of homemade clogs?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And then you arrive there and it's just, oh, thanks very much, stick it on the table. But saying that, I think people very much appreciate you being at their wedding.
No,
they do. They remember if you were there.
No, they don't.
They do.
They don't.
You don't get invited to weddings because you ain't got any mates.
No, I've got to know enough people. Everyone's getting married. But they're always in the middle of nowhere.
That annoys me when people say, you come to our wedding? Yeah, fine, we're in Greece.
Yeah.
Well, no, down the road, I might make it down the road for the reception.
Yeah.
Go to what? You want me to book a holiday and come to your wedding?
Well, the thing that drives me insane when you do go is when they put you on a table with people you don't know.
Well,
I got all my mates there, and they put because I got to mingle with some people. I don't care. I need these.
But that's what I'm not good at. Talking to people once. Talking to people who you don't know.
No.
What sort of stuff would you make conversation about at a wedding?
I'd probably say, first of all, how do you know them? How do you know the people getting married? And then, do you think it'll last?
Imagine inviting Karl Pilkington to wedding and going, where should we put him? Oh, I don't know. Is there a table for one? Oh, just
you'd be on the table with the kids.
Imagine being stuck with Karl Pilkington at a wedding. Yeah, what else? So you've asked them to think it'll last. They've gone, I'm sorry? Who are you? Karl Pilkington from Manchester. Right. Yes, we think it'll last. What else would you ask? So what's your next? He's going badly. They're sort of like looking down their nose at you. They're thinking, why do they invite this bald-headed scum?
There's just the last wedding I went to. It's going back a couple of years, but everyone seems a bit snidey. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got a mixture of families there, haven't you?
Yeah.
And none of them really like each other.
No.
And I got stuck with an old fella who had a flatulence problem.
That sounds fun.
And then he went on to say it doesn't matter, the suit's hired. And it's just kind of...
I'm gonna die! I
just don't like him.
I love it. He's basically saying at a wedding, it doesn't matter if I shit myself.
Maybe it's that thing that I don't appreciate what I've got. But to me, being English isn't anything that great.
Really?
Why not?
Because it's just what I've been dealt with.
But what would you, I know you know nothing about the world.
You've travelled nowhere. You've seen nothing.
Yeah. But if you could be any nationality, what would you be and why?
Probably be Italian.
Okay. Why?
Well, just, I like the idea of it. I like Italians are alright.
Where would you live? Rome?
I probably wouldn't want to be in the middle of Rome. It's too much hassle.
Have you been to Rome?
Yeah, it's nice to visit and stuff, but it's just I wouldn't want to live there. You've got to get paperwork done and that if you just want to put a picture up, because everything's old. Everything's listed.
He's only been Italian about 3 minutes and he's already slagging it off.
He's already
whinging. But I like Rome.
Yeah.
It's good. A lot of old stuff.
Why have you chosen Italy? I'm interested to know why of all the countries you've chosen Italy.
I was a late comer to pasta.
But it's won you round.
I like it now. It's like one of my favourite things I have. Which there isn't really anything like that in England. That, even though it's...
Well, except pasta.
Pasta's
No,
almost
but it's-
exactly like it.
Yeah,
No, but it's not.
we've got pasta, haven't
It's
we?
not ours though, is it? And we
No,
don't know
we've
how
got-
to eat it.
What do you mean we don't know how to eat it?
We do it all wrong.
You stick it up your arse again.
Look at me, I know how to fucking eat it.
No, but what I mean is, if you saw a proper Italian and they saw what we did to pasta, they would not be happy.
What are we doing wrong? Tell me what we're doing wrong
Well, I
with
don't
pasta.
know that, otherwise we wouldn't be doing
Well,
it wrong.
how do you know we're doing it
how do you
wrong?
know
I've
they've
just
done-
heard we do it wrong. It's like how we have the coffee at all the wrong times. I ordered a cappuccino somewhere and the Italian fella said you shouldn't be having that now, it's a breakfast coffee.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Before 12 o'clock,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I was having it at like 11:15 at night.
Oh,
It looks
wow.
like I
Well,
was
that's
mental.
absurd. How are you going to get to sleep with a lovely cup of coffee?
Yeah, that's
Well,
a
I
good
don't
point.
sleep anyway,
You
do
shouldn't
I?
drink coffee anyway at night. There was cappuccino
stupid. No
or
wonder he was
frappuccino
right to say that.
or mocha. Doesn't matter. Don't drink coffee after about 4 in the afternoon anyway. Full stop.
So, hang on. So you love pasta, but you're not eating it right, so you'd like to be Italian in order to be able to eat pasta correctly? Even though you enjoy the pasta you eat.
What do you feel being Italian is, and what's
It's just,
attractive
it's
to
just
being...
very sort of, it's a relaxed lifestyle. Whenever you go to Italy, everyone's sat outside a cafe. It doesn't matter what sort of person
Karl,
you are.
that's all you do now with your spare time is
Yes,
sit outside a cafe.
But they get more respect over there. For
Why?
it. It's like, it's okay to do that. There's older people sat outside cafes who do nothing.
I
and it's
love the
just
fact that he
they're
wants to
probably
be
retired.
Italian so he can sit outside a cafe and get more respect than he does now sitting outside a cafe.
No, but everyone's rushing about here. People have like colder coffee. They have frappuccinos here because they haven't got time to have a hot coffee. It's like they've got a coffee with ice in so I can neck it. Get it down my neck and get on with my day. Relax, enjoy your coffee. I don't understand the rush.
You never enjoy anything. You said that you don't enjoy anything. You don't enjoy a coffee. When you're having a coffee, you're probably going, oh, I don't know if I can enjoy it yet, in retrospect. And tomorrow I'll go, I like that coffee yesterday.
But the reason you enjoy Italy is because when you were there, you're on holiday. That's why you're able to chill out and
No,
relax.
no.
When you say it's old people sat in some little Sicilian village. Of course they got no money.
Here, I went to the Salvation Army
Right.
Why?
because it's nice.
What do you mean?
You can get toast and a cup of tea for £1.
Go, you little skinflint.
Right.
You little roundy
There's
heady
nothing
Scrooge.
skinflinty about that. That's just that should be the going rate, Steve. I'm surprised I haven't seen you in there, to be honest. But the thing is,
Where is it?
now, just near Camden.
What is it? Is it like old people?
A lot of old people, mainly old people. And this is what I'm saying. These are people who are old and they sat in a cafe, but they don't get any respect. People are walking past and they don't want to go in. The way you reacted when I said I was in the Salvation Army, that's the reaction they get. Yet an old Italian person, they looked after better.
Well, it's certainly true they look after their older families, don't they?
Right,
They do
and that's
respect
all
the
I'm
family.
saying. Whereas, I mean, it's a lovely place, Salvation Army. Every old fella in there's got a tie on.
Yeah.
They make an effort.
That chokes me when I see an old boy still put a shirt and tie on. He's 90. He's like been through hardship, and yet on a Sunday they're still shining their shoes. And you know what I mean?
I mean, you sometimes can't even bother to put your trousers on a
I
Sunday.
know. Mine got an elasticated waistband,
Yeah.
and they're still fiddling with braces and buttons.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's what I like about Italians and that. There's a lot of
So you want to be
respect.
Italian because when you're old, you can sit outside a cafe and get more respect than you do here.
Yeah, look at the old people in this country. They never look happy, do they? Really. Most of the time, when you see them walking around, they go to pot. No one's keeping an eye on them.
Well, it's an important thing, isn't it? That my mum, this is when she was about 60, 65. There was a neighbour who was like 85, 90, and again completely alone. And my mum used to go around there every day. Do you want any shopping? Do it, right? She was good for her. She was like her witness in the world, you know, to her existence. But I remember calling her once, and she'd come back. I said, "What have you been doing?" She went, "Oh, I've been around so and so." So I went, "All right." She went, "Oh, she won't die, Rick." Like she's helping her, but she's thinking this is getting silly now. You were meant to go years ago here. I was like,
Well, that's the problem, you know. If you get pally with an old person,
Yeah.
then you could be stuck with them for years.
and having to do stuff, you know, that's what you don't want to do, is it? You meet an old fella, and then you've got to start popping in his sort of piles or whatever when he can't do them himself. You know, what do you do? If you're...
It depends how friendly you are, though. I mean, I'm just talking about someone you meet at the bus stop, as opposed to popping the piles back in. How does that happen? Jesus. Just the ones on the estate I grew up on. As soon as he got to a certain age, there was Mrs. Knowles who went mental. One day she seemed fine, next day she was chucking cans in everyone's garden. You could just hear her coming. Which was weird. Aren't you? Now you brought up weird people. There was a fellow called Shorts Man. Right?
It's so pedestrian! Oh, I love that.
Shorts man wore some shorts?
Now, what I like, yeah, he did, but they were really short. They were that sort where, you know, it's almost pointless having them on.
What do you mean?
They were just, you know, like shorts now for blokes. They go up to your knees, don't they? There's no chance. There's no accident happening there. There's nothing going to pop out.
Yeah.
No.
But Shorts Man, he liked it. He liked the fact that happened. Right. And he used to walk with big strides to sort of help the chance along. So that he knew, with the big strides and the short shorts,
yeah,
they were going to pop out.
Did you ever see it pop out?
Yeah.
Why were you looking at the shorts?
Just because it was like playing Buckaroo. It was like, when are they going to pop out?
But what?
It's just what happened.
So, right, but Shorts Man, so he was an exhibitionist, he basically wanted people to see his veg.
Yeah, and they were out more than they were in. I mean, they had a tan, right? Now the thing is, what we like in England, I think we like that. We like local characters.
The eccentric.
Yeah. Eccentric's that's very British, eccentric, yeah.
I'm glad I grew up round there with all them people, because they're interesting. Has that got more popular?
Yes.
Has it?
Yeah.
What people doing it in the streets now.
Really?
It's avoiding...
Not in Hampstead.
It still is, you know. When I walk
the only person gobbing in Hampstead is me. Jane says, "Don't gob. People are looking."
Well, it is. It's your trail that I'm seeing then. It's like a load of sort of washed up jellyfish in London. Just big blobs of it. I mean, I don't know how they're coughing this stuff up. I mean, they shouldn't still be alive. Some of them have like organs in them. It's just big lumps of stuff.
Talking of the English sense of fair play and war, when the crossbow was invented, a lot of people wouldn't use it. They said it was unchristian, so our soldiers sort of resisted it. So Europeans got this thing that needed no skill, and it was shooting these bolts, and they could reload quick, and versus our bowmen. What do you think of that? What do you think of going, oh, it's cheating, we won't use it, but having a disadvantage? That's honour, isn't it? It's almost like it's okay to kill someone, but with skill.
But what's the problem here? What am I meant to be worrying about?
Well, you've got bow and arrows. Yeah. They're amazing. They're heavy. They're your arms. They've got trained bowmen. They're skilled. The most skilled sort of marksman soldiers in the country. Someone comes along and goes, "Don't worry about that. Here's a crossbow. Just pop it in, put it back." Deadly, quick. Anyone can use it. So now you've got anyone with a crossbow killing people.
Women, children.
Anyone can use it. So the Europeans, they're going crazy. Oh, William Tell he's shooting apples off heads.
Yeah.
Right? But we resisted it because we thought it was, you know, unchristian and cheating to kill without skill. What do you think of that?
But where were the actual bows and that being made? Because that's the thing, isn't it? The company who's making them, they just want to get out to a big market.
Brilliant.
That's what they do now with the iPod and everything. It's not about people wanting more music than ever before. That's not the case. It's about having the accessory. And if the bow and arrow was like sold as this, you know, light to carry for all the family, that's how it would have happened. That's what it's all about.
Ye new bow and arrow. From Ronco.
But what do you think the problem is?
But you're not quite getting Ricky's point. His point is the idea of there being sort of rules and fair play and etiquette in war. The objective is to kill the enemy.
I don't think war and that is a place to start getting all uppity about someone cheating or having a better system.
Really? You think all fair in love and war, do you?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. But
it's just about
rules,
winning.
Isn't it?
No, not in a war. There isn't rules.
So what about things like the Geneva Convention? It's the understanding that even if we're entering into a war, theoretically, there's a set of agreed
It's good for both
universal
sides,
rules.
isn't it? Fair play has got to come into
but
everything.
What's extraordinary about the idea of English fair play is, famously the approach during the First World War, that we would sort of walk up out of the trenches onto no man's land and sort of politely march at a slow, steady pace across towards the enemy.
know.
I mean, and then we were just being machine gunned down. I mean, it was absurd.
Well, I know we were fodder. It was fodder to use up some of their bullets. I mean, it was crazy.
I mean, it's madness, but in a way, it's the gentry who are leading us, seeing the average Tommy as a sort of cannon fodder.
Of course. And you've got to realise that most of those people didn't want to be there. Most of them didn't even understand it. I mean, and if you think of the first and second, they were just wars, But I can't imagine
How
what
would
it'd be
you cope,
like.
do you think, Karl, in a war situation? You've seen all those films of the.
I mean, that's the one they had a knockabout and stuff, didn't they? They took a game of football. And
In
all that.
no man's land, yeah. Christmas Day.
But who took a football there? If I was on the front line, I would not be getting out the rule book. I can tell you that much. I'd be going mental.
Are you saying there should be some rules or no rules?
I mean, you've got to have some rules, otherwise it's just going to be like Grand Theft Auto, isn't it? I'm just going to go about battering everyone.
Yeah.
And you soon get bored of that. So I think you've got to have some rules.
Right.
Which rules would you repeal that already exist that you don't like?
It's a shame you can't tip as much as you used to be able to.
You mean in a restaurant?
No, just when you're getting rid of a mattress or something.
So fly tipping, you'd like to see more fly tipping?
What do you mean? This is something so personal. He's fed up. He had to take something.
No, it's just that they used to put stuff outside the house, and just like you had mattresses, you had sideboards, sewing machines. The thing is, it was a good way of recycling. Now they say recycle, but we're not recycling. It's just being put in a bin.
So you'd like to see more fly tipping?
No, not you see.
That's all we need in London. More rubbish.
This is the problem. You see. Look what's happened. Look what's happened to what I've said. It's been taken the wrong way.
Right.
I'm not saying tip. I'm not saying chuck your bin bags out the door and let crisp packets go everywhere. I'm saying if you've got old furniture, you should be allowed to leave it outside your house, without the council going, move that. It's dangerous. Someone's going to trip over it. Well, if they trip over it, you should have been looking where they're going.
Well, what if they're blind?
What?
What if they're blind? That's why you don't leave things out in the pavement, because blind people will fall over them and smack their face in.
What if a woman with a couple of kids in pushchairs has to go out into the road to get past your piece of junk?
And get crushed?
No, because I'm leaving it. I'm not leaving it on the pavement.
Well, you just said you were. Where are you leaving it?
Sort of outside the house.
Right.
In your front garden. Well, who's going to take it from there? That's just thieving.
No, sort of. Just
Where are you leaving it? Where are you leaving it, Karl? You haven't established where you're leaving this yet. Because so far, a blind person's fallen over and broken his nose.
I've never seen a blind person trip over anything.
You've never seen a blind person trip over anything?
Definitely not. They're better on the feet than some people because they're more cautious, aren't they?
So
Make it more fun for them, if anything.
why can't you just have this stuff collected by a second-hand shop or
Because
send
they
it
won't.
to
They
a
don't come,
charity?
Steve. Honestly, they don't.
They will.
I've called up people and they're saying, "Yeah, we'll be there in an hour." And I say, "Right, I'm going to put it out on the street. And are you going to come and get it?" "Yeah, we'll be there." An hour passes by. They haven't been. Suddenly the
blind people
council
all over
goes
the
past.
on the floor, bloodied noses.
Then the council said, I call them up, "Do you want to shift it?" "Well, we might, but don't know when." "Well, it's outside the house now." "Well, you can't leave it there. It's your responsibility. You'll have to stay with it." Suddenly I'm wasting time sat outside the house with rubbish that someone else might want. But you're not allowed to leave there because a blind person might come along. What's the dog doing?
What do you make of St. George, the patron saint? What's your take on that?
Is he the one who killed a dragon?
Right. Tell us the story.
There was a dragon problem.
Where?
Must have been in England.
Right.
George took it on. He took on the job. He was like a rent-a-kill. He came out. The interesting thing with him is, right, he was a hero then. I honestly think if he did that now, there'd be an uproar. Because it's the last dragon. It's the same way we try to save the panda and all that now. If he came out and said, "I've done it," and they've done what? They've just killed the last dragon, they'd go mental. There'd be marches. Idiot, bloody idiot. And that's what's interesting.
But it was going around burning people.
Doesn't matter, we shouldn't have killed the last one. It's the last one. And that's
No,
what we'd
but
be
do-
like. You say
do
you
you
should have
think-
saved it, you should have captured it and put it in a cage so we can all look at it
There's
and
no
stuff.
point. You couldn't have bred anyway. It was the last one.
Was it definitely the last one?
Well, you were saying it was the last one. I'm not bothered either way.
Hang on, what?
To me,
Sorry,
hang on,
whoa,
whoa, whoa.
So you think that there were dragons?
Well, what are we celebrating then?
Well, it could be a metaphor, a dragon slayer. It could be a bad thing amongst us. It could be a foreign threat. It could be things that threaten. It could be anything. It's not to be taken literally, is
But
it?
the real legend of George was that he was a figure who stood up for Christianity. Have
Doesn't
you ever
get-
done anything brave?
There was a kid at school who used to have epileptic fits a lot, and the teacher used to always say, if it happens, grab his tongue. And I sort of had a go at
what?
that once. His tongue.
His tongue.
Yeah.
What do you have a tongue for? To pick stuff up? What do you mean a tongue?
His tongue in his mouth.
Oh, his tongue.
Oh, his tongue. Right, go on.
And they used to say,
Use the English
if he starts doing it, grab his tongue and that. And I sort of had a go at that once, and it wasn't nice.
What? How'd you grab it? You grabbed his tongue, did you?
Well, I tried to. It's like grabbing a slug. And plus his mouth's going up and down. That you think he's going to have me hand here. So you sort of do that thing where you go.
So you were trying to grab hold of a kid's tongue, yeah? And he was.
He's throwing himself all over the place. It was in a physics lesson. I sort of had a go, and then I thought, this isn't happening. So I just sort of kept putting my hand in, like I'm having a go. But in my head, I was going, I'm not going to get hold of it.
What you could have used is a pair of tongs.
Well, firstly, I don't see why this is brave. Kids have an epileptic fit and you're just supposed to help them out. I don't know why that's bravery, but even given that, the fact that you were thinking more about yourself in that situation than this other kid. You were thinking, I'll make it look like I'm helping, but I'm not really. And yet this is kid having
Well,
an epileptic
I did
fit.
at the beginning.
Doesn't
I
that
tried.
sum you up, Karl? Selfish.
No, it doesn't. Because no one else was having a go. At least I did try and grab it
You
at one
weren't doing
point.
anything. You were just making it look like you were.
Have you ever tried to grab a tongue? It's like chasing a chicken. It's murder. And after a while, it wears you out. And it was weird anyway, because it was like a
What was he doing it for?
I don't know.
Wearing him out after hours of chasing this kid's tongue.
I love the idea of you ever tried grabbing a tongue. It's a valid question.
I love that he's annoyed. He's annoyed that this
What
poor kid's having
was
an
your
epileptic fit.
technique? Were you trying to grab it
just with your thumb and your finger, like a pincher thing.
Yeah.
But it was because his mouth's going down and all
Was
that.
he shouting or just?
No, just throwing himself around.
So that's your one attempt at bravery.
Well, hang on a minute. Let me just think.
Trying to grab a tongue.
There was a time you were chased by a bee and you scored a goal.
I forgot about that.
That isn't really bravery, is it? As you were running away from a bee, and the ball happened to hit your foot and go in. Does that count as bravery? I love it when he goes up to the pearly gates and goes, well, you know, have you done the act of courage? I pretended to grab a tongue. A what? A tongue, yeah. Got chased by a bee, scored a goal. It doesn't count as brave at all.
Well, what have you ever done?
Well, it's a good question.
I thought of some of them when I was a kid on the beach. There was a baby, like a toddler. I was about 12, and they were out. Their little boat had gone out. The mother missed it, and they were miles out. And the mother was sort of distraught. And I swam out, and I was a good swimmer then. And I pulled it in, right? And she bought me a box of chocolates.
It's not enough, is it?
What?
It's not enough, a box of chocolates. I'd have been furious.
Really?
I'd have wanted a lot more.
I didn't expect anything.
No, it was like when I found that old lady's purse and I sent it back to her, and she sent me a little thank you note, but nothing. No cash, nothing. I was furious. I thought, come on, I could have kept that purse. I sent it back to you. I need more than the little thank you note.
I didn't expect anything. I was sort of, I wasn't even particularly proud of myself, because I just thought, well, I could just do it. I mean, if it happened now, I'd go, what's in it for me? I've just eaten.
Exactly.
I'd go, is that your kid? They're miles away. Yeah. I've got less brave. I've got more scared of the world, yeah. The things I used to do, jump off sheds, I used to jump down flights of stairs to see if I could do it, walk along, you know, all those things that kids do. And you lose your nerve, I think, after. Apparently, if you haven't bungee jumped by your 30, you never will.
Really?
Yeah, you sort of. I think it's a sensible gene kicks in.
I'm pretty sensible.
Yeah, you think, well, this is not worth dying for. Don't do it. You know.
Yeah.
But
I think having glasses prevents me from doing a lot of things. No, seriously, because it's hard to be brave with glasses. Because if I stepped into the middle of a fight and there's people being bullied and I stepped in, my glasses come off. That's it.
I love that.
Now I'm just being bullied as well. but I'm also blind in this, so I'm just crawling. It's very hard to strike fear into your opponents when you're crawling around on the floor looking for your frames, going, don't tread lightly. That's 200 quid there.
Oh God, I love that when you took up judo and you think you overheard the judo instructor say, just knock his glasses off.
Just knock his glasses off.
But who are you, Woody Allen? What are you doing in this scenario? Why are you stepping into the dojo wearing a pair of glasses
Well, how am I
anyway?
supposed to do judo without, where am I supposed
Well,
to
they come off immediately.
But what am I supposed to do? Not do any form of martial art because of the glasses?
I don't know. Actually, I haven't thought about that.
Exactly. This is the problem, innit? People don't think that. You never see boxers with glasses.
Well, of course you don't.
Right, exactly. So I got no kind of athletic role models in that way, except Dennis Taylor.
Oh God, a man with glasses, me and my glasses.
It's to tell you this, I could write a book on the difficulties of having glasses.
But I suppose it's completely affected your life, hasn't
course it has.
Everything you do.
Of course it has. Absolutely. Fashion.
Yeah.
Sort of sport, dancing, moshing. Can't go in the mosh pit. Can't, I've always wanted to jump on the stage, take my shirt off and then jump back in and everyone catches you and you sort of sway along on top of everyone's hands. Can't do it. The glasses would come flying off.
But how do you swim in the sea?
I'd have to hand them to the singer and then do it. I went to, I was in India recently, I went to Goa and I got myself a pair of prescription goggles. Could not believe my luck. It's revolutionised my swimming experience.
Alright.
Goggles which have got the same lenses in as my glasses so I can see alright.
That's good.
Went in there. Literally, and they're pricey as well. Went in the water, within seconds, giant wave had come over, and it was crazy. It was like Rio all over again. It ripped off both my trunks and my goggles. They went flying off my head.
What?
Now, I can only grab one of them.
My trunks have never come off. Maybe once I've dived in, they come down a little bit.
They came loose and they slipped down, thus revealing penis. Goggles came off.
I reckon you're like shorts man. I think you've been doing it on purpose.
You know how most swimmers...
Tie your shorts up, Steve. No, I'm just going to see. But if they come off, if they come off, then you might see something.
You know how most swimming goggles would float? Yeah. My prescription is so dense that they just sunk straight to the bottom.
All your cells die and are replaced many times over in your life. Except the brain cells, you only lose them. You lose hundreds and millions and trillions, right? And you've still got plenty left, don't worry. Or most people have. So only a small percentage of the cells you're born with remain yours, the brain cells. So supposing you're 99% different, all the time you're changing. Is that the same person? Well, you'd say, yeah, because you've got the important ones, the brain cells, which keeps your memory, your personality, your input, the you.
But then, as we've talked before, if you took your brain and put it in someone else, would you be the same person? Well, then, what defines the person?
Yeah, it's the brain, isn't it?
It is the brain, but then if you look different, you'd be treated differently and you have a different personality. You could still be the same person, but people change anyway. People's personalities change. And if you're in a car accident and you lose all your memories, you've got the same hardware. People have had complete personality changes.
Particularly, I knew someone whose girlfriend was in a terrible accident and she lost a lot of her memory, and so the person she was with, her boyfriend or fiance, she no longer related to them in the same way, and equally he obviously that wasn't the same woman that
but was it his fault? Was it his fault?
What's that got to do with it? What's that got to do with it?
No, was it his fault? Was the accident his
Well, what's
fault?
that got to do with it?
Because you would be fed up, wouldn't you?
That's a completely different point that he was making.
No, it wasn't. He said a woman had an accident.
Yeah, but we were talking about, are you the same person?
Well, hang on, let's hear what Karl's point is.
You said, you know, this woman was in an accident.
Yeah.
It's terrible, that. It's sad.
Yeah.
Now, all I'm saying is she went...
opinion just popped in there. Terrible, that. Sad. Yeah.
She went off him.
I'll pass on your condolences.
Yeah.
She went off the fella.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, you're saying, oh, it's because a brain had a knock and went, oh, I'm not into him anymore. But all I'm saying is, if it was his fault who was driving the car, and it happened because of him, you would sort of go,
yeah, but that's not the point I was making at all.
It wasn't.
A, wasn't involved, but B, it was because she got a form of amnesia, so she didn't relate to him in the same way, because the life they'd spent together, she no longer had a memory of, and equally, when he was talking to her, she was no longer the person that he'd first met. Do you see what I mean? So that's what my point was, not because he was in...
Yeah, no, I can understand that. That doesn't surprise me that much, I suppose. At the end of the day, it is what you go through, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can hark back. You can talk about stuff.
Harp back. You can harp back.
Is that what a good relationship's based on? If there's a lot of young people out there listening, they're wondering what to look for.
I think that's the best thing about getting old, isn't it? You can sit down and do nothing but think about a lot. If you're a baby, you've done now, you're lying there, you can't walk. I can't remember being a baby, and I put that down to it being boring. Because you only remember the good things.
Remember your birthday.
No, it's you remember the good things in life, don't you? I'm quite happy. I can sit down for a good hour or so and just think back and go, oh, that was good.
When was the last time you reminisced?
Well, my mum and dad have been round, haven't they? So been reminiscing a lot.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about?
We're just chatting about Tic Tacs.
One of the great memories, yeah. The happy memories.
No, because you see, here's the thing. You're saying how that woman changed when she had her head caved in.
He never said that.
What did you? Well, the brain accident.
Yeah, brain accident, yeah.
The Tic Tacs. Now, I used to love them
Yeah.
when I was younger.
Yeah.
My dad got a load of them.
What, this year?
No,
Just recently?
years ago.
Years ago,
Like
right.
years ago, when I loved them, I said I love Tic Tacs. Me.
Yeah.
He met one of his mates.
You didn't nick him from the sweet shop?
No,
that's what
he
we
knew
do,
some
yeah.
mate who could get his hand on a load,
Right.
and he
Thief,
must
he
have
was a
got
thief.
about he must have got about 30 crates of Tic Tacs.
30 crates of Tic Tacs?
Honestly, we'd have about 24 on each crate. We got them, stuck them in a cupboard under the just in the kitchen, in the corner.
Yeah.
Now, I worked my way through about 6 crates. I was quite happy.
When? In how long?
I don't know, in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something.
Right.
And then after that, I'm getting sick of these.
Right.
Yeah. You were minty fresh, but you were
Oh,
sick
lovely
of them.
fresh breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I haven't got that much more to tell you about it. It's just.
What
I
do you
just
sorry,
remember-
whoa. Bear in mind, this was something he was recently reminiscing with his parents about. They were sat round, and we've already learned up to an hour could go by reminiscing. Sat round for an hour, talking about the
I've
great
already
Tic
run
Tac
out of
saga.
responses. I've got
Yeah.
nothing to say about
No
that.
opinion.
I mean,
It was-
I was nearly going to say, what do you do with the empty little flicky Tic Tac boxes?
Yeah. But then you realise that that's utterly dull and boring.
Well,
and not
I
very
was
interesting.
struggling. I don't know what this anecdote is, other than a bloke. Other than you said your dad, I like Tic Tacs, mate. He went, all right. I talked to Albert. Albert, you got Tic Tacs? I've got 30 crates. If that'll do, yeah, yeah. Bring him out. Put him under cupboard. He's got through 12 crates. What's his breath like? Fucking lovely, but he's been sick all over the cunting place. Oh, do you want some more? No, of course we fucking don't. You'll talk about that in a few years' time. Of course we will for about a fucking hour.
No.
Then we bring it up on an audio book.
But I think that's how we got onto it, because even though I tried to get rid of a load, I used to give them to mates, take them to school, say, have some Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
You can have them for free. We used a load in the cat litter tray.
No,
we
you
did.
didn't.
We did. It
No,
was
you
just
didn't.
ways of getting rid of them.
Jesus Christ.
Sort of freshy smell, isn't it?
That's
it's the same sort
amazing.
of condensity in that, isn't it?
Condensity. It is the same condensity.
Condensity.
Yeah, so I got rid of them like that. And then the weird thing was, even though I'd got shut of them all, you'd be backing up and you'd always hear one ting its way up the tube.
It's tinging its way up the tube. It's tinging its way up the tube. It's tinging its way up the tube. Ting tong ping pong. It's tinging its way up the tube.
That sounds like something from Willy Wonka.
Oh
No,
God.
it's just I'm just demonstrating that because that's how many of them there were around the house. You'd drop them, they'd go in every corner and that, like Pac-Man or something. They'd be
That's
everywhere. You'd be backing
amazing.
up, tinging it up.
Sheila's getting married. Hannah gets confetti. Don't buy any confetti. Go to cupboard under stairs.
So yeah, that's a little memory there, isn't it?
It
That
is a
just
little
cropped up.
memory.
Now
It's a really little memory.
The strange Tic Tac house in Salford, where everything is made of Tic Tacs.
Wow, that must have been a hell
That's
of
incredible.
a time you had with your parents there. The old Tic Tac
No, but it's
reminiscence.
better. You see, you're saying, oh, what a boring story that is. But when
I
your
see
mum
you've
and dad,
re-gravelled the drive. Yeah, smell it. Suck the drive if you want.
no, but it's different. When my mum and dad are there and they can remember that, and they're going, oh yeah, the Tic Tac incidents and stuff.
What's known as the Tic Tac incident.
The Tic Tac
Let us
incident.
never speak of the Tic Tac incident.
Yeah, I just imagine the clock ticking. There, it's Christmas Day. I go, what are you smiling at? Oh, remember it used to ting up the tube.
You should think about selling this to Hollywood.
Listen, what do you remember then?
What do
do
you
I remember?
That's
Wow.
an amazing thing to
That's
say.
a difficult question to answer.
Yeah, I don't. Nothing at all.
Why, out of interest though, and this will sound naive, why don't we remember the very early moments of our lives? Why is it? Is it because it would be too harrowing to remember the point at which we sort of born? Because I don't really remember anything from those first few years. Why is it? Is it just because the brain's not fully formed at that moment?
I don't know.
The memory's not sufficiently developed?
I honestly,
It's got to be trauma, hasn't it? It's the things. Again, we were talking about me being younger, and the youngest I could remember back to was 1978.
How old were you then?
Uh,
When were you born?
72.
What?
it was
You
summer
could only
holidays.
you couldn't remember earlier than 6.
You can remember back to about 2 or 3, most people. What?
No way. No way. My mum and dad don't even remember me then. Because you're not doing anything. This is what I'm saying.
My mum and dad don't even remember me then. That's amazing.
Because they pinpoint
They remember
things.
all the Tic Tacs they've ever eaten.
Yeah. Do you remember when Karl was 6? Of course I do. 5? Yeah. 4? Yeah. 3? No. 2? No.
Because you're not doing anything, are you?
My mum and dad don't even remember me then.
And it's weird.
I remember must have been about 2 sitting on a potty surrounded by Lego. I remember that. Very strong image I have of that.
No, I don't remember that.
No, you wouldn't remember that, were you?
You weren't there, were you? What do you mean? What, you don't remember Steve sitting on a potty surrounded by Lego?
No, I mean, I can't remember having a potty. I remember having one of them.
I'm not suggesting you have the
You
same
used to
memory.
go in a fucking litter tray. Now I know why, to eat a Tic Tac while you're having a shit.
But, okay, so what is your very first memory?
The one that cropped up the other day was having my eyes sort of glued together by.
Gangsters. Where's the fucking Tic Tacs?
No, I was,
lost our truck for you, guys.
when I was on holiday and I slept near the window and the window was open and I used to wake up in the morning with my eyes shut. My mum and dad thought I was having a lovely lie in. I just couldn't open my eyes.
But whoa, I don't understand. Why were they?
I'm gonna burst.
Whoa.
What do you mean?
Why were they glued? Why were they? What do you mean they were glued?
But why didn't you say, Mum, Dad, I'm not asleep. My eyes are glued together.
It's just that you get a build-up on the eyelashes.
Yeah.
And it all.
When they came in and you could sense them looking
I didn't know
at
they
you.
were there.
What do you mean? Why didn't you say to us? So you lay there dead still?
Well, you should have sprinkled some Tic Tacs around the bed, and you'd have heard them crunching in as they came in.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean?
So that's
your
my
eyes
earliest memory.
wait. So your eyes are stuck together. You're lying there. You're still. You're awake, but you can't open your eyes, so you don't say anything.
Yeah.
What? Why? What? Every
so your
day?
It happened
memory
a
of-
lot. It happened a lot.
But your memory was that this was scary to you because you thought you'd gone blind.
Probably, and it hasn't happened since, so it's something you remember happening, isn't it? It's like the kidney stone thing. That will always stay with me because it's like I was in agony.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying about trauma. It's quite frightening when you're a kid and you can't open your eyes.
So we don't remember
You were
trauma.
saying you don't remember trauma.
No.
Do you remember that? Do
wasn't
you remember that
traumatic.
conversation we had a few minutes ago?
Maybe it's because I had time to lie there and think about it. Because I sort of wonder that if having vision does get in the way.
No, that's a good one.
Okay, go on, interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, go on.
Oh, just your eyes are, you know.
Go on. What are they?
They're the thing that makes you do the things you want to do, aren't they? Your eyes
What do you
at the end
mean?
of the
What
day.
do you mean? Interesting. Go on.
Everything. You might want to. You might like drawing.
Right.
Your eyes.
That's an example, though, isn't it? Because then you might like music, and you don't need your eyes for that, do you?
Well,
you need
yeah,
your ears,
because you still got to find your way to the record shop to find the
Well,
record you want.
Someone could put it for you. We could.
What I mean is your eyes.
Wonder,
Say rather
You
than.
might like smells. You might be a perfume.
Let me just
Need
think.
the nose, don't you? Wine tasting. Just
I've just always thought blind people
go on.
are probably good listeners.
Right, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Which means that they'll be more brainy.
Possibly.
They won't waste their eyes on watching rubbish telly.
No.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
But bear in mind, you learn a lot, don't you?
Yeah,
Just from what you see, you
swings
absorb a lot of
roundabouts.
information from what you
Swings
see.
roundabouts.
yeah, but blind people are going to say, right, I'm not going to be defeated here.
Right.
I'm going to make sure that I still feed my brain with stuff.
Right.
Whereas if you've got eyes, your eyes can sometimes say, well, don't listen to that intelligent thing there.
Yeah.
Watch some rubbish on the telly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Because-
your eyes are saying that? Are they? Who are they talking to? Are they?
I'm just saying, if you've got eyes,
Yeah, they're talking to you.
you're more drawn to things
Drawn
that keep
to,
you.
what are you drawn to, though?
Keep your eyes,
Go on,
keep your
what are you
eyes
saying?
interested. It's like everything.
Right.
It picks your food for you.
Does it?
No, it does. It
doesn't.
does. Of course, it does. That's why they advertise food in a way that look, those adverts on the telly. Look at
So-
this. This isn't an ordinary pasta.
Yeah.
It's
So
yeah,
you'd eat a nice plastic apple, would you? It looked like an apple. Eat it.
presentation is 90% of what goes on now in this world. Whether it's clothes.
Is that a
That's
statistic that you
because
picked up from
you
somewhere?
know what the thing you like looks like. So you recognise it. You go,
oh, I like that. You don't go, oh, I like the look of that. I ate it last time and I like the look of it as I was eating it. You go, I know what that is. That's the thing that tasted good.
Not always.
No?
I think there's a lot of cakes out there, and I've been conned, where my eyes have gone, that looks good. I'll go, can I have one of them? And I get it, and it's just like air with cream on it.
But that's
There's nothing. There's
Are
no
you
enjoyment.
furious with your eyes at that point?
But
Well,
you
it's a
just
bit
contradicted
annoying.
your own point.
No, I haven't. I've said, my eyes have said this is what you want,
Yeah.
and I've been disappointed with it.
So your eyes shouldn't pick your food then, should they? Really?
They shouldn't,
No.
but they do.
Well, again, the next time you get the eyes go again. Remember
Well,
that?
yeah, I'll sort of go, hang on a minute, you remember last time? This is different.
You are the strangest
It's
man
not, there's
I
not
have
weird.
ever met.
There's nothing weird about
You
that.
are the strangest person
not.
I've ever met.
So are you
not.
mistrustful of your eyes? You
You
don't
are.
trust anything you see now, you query it, question it.
Here's a clearer way of describing it.
Go on.
Holiday brochure.
Right?
Your eyes, look at it. Look at this villa here. Look at that, it's got its own pool, close to all the amenities. Get there, my eyes. What have you picked? Because it's not as good.
Who's arguing now? Who's angry with your eyes?
Were your eyes angry then?
No, I was angry.
Okay, so your mouth and brain are angry with your eyes?
Because, one, my nose has kicked in, I'm next to the bins.
Right, okay.
You couldn't see that in the brochure, the eyes couldn't see that.
That's true.
The bottle banks again, they're close by. My ears are going, what's the racket?
Yeah.
My eyes are going, sorry.
What? Your eyes are saying sorry?
I'm just saying, you can't trust your eyes.
I
I
don't
love
really care.
this.
I'm surprised they felt guilt.
I love the fact that his sense of human biology is based on the numbskulls.
I don't know why you must pick stuff based on what your eyes thought initially.
Well, it depends.
But Karl, they're not detached in this separate way. They're not different operatives, all with different agendas. It's all connected.
There should be.
If I look at a picture in a brochure or magazine, and I think, oh, that looks nice, my brain instantly says, be careful though, because that's a publicity tool in order to try and sell me this particular deal. Chances are it doesn't look exactly in real life like it does in the brochure. I'm instantly thinking that. I'm not going, hey, I'll book that, and then 2 weeks later I get there, I can't believe I'm fucking disappointed. Ears, what do you make of it? Well, I'm livid because I can hear some fucking racket.
All I'm saying is you don't see that many disappointed blind people.
You don't see that many disappointed blind people.
They're not let down that much. They're not let down.
Spurious. You've got no information for that, no evidence for that at all. You just made that
You
up.
don't see many disappointed blind people.
I went to, what's the name? Harley Street. I went for a checkup. And, like a medical. Posh, you know Harley Street, it's like it's the top doctors, isn't it? I've never been before. All posh buildings and that. Went up to the counter. I said, I see the doctor. They said, name, give us 10 minutes, go and wait in the waiting room. Dead posh waiting room. Dead fancy. Big leather furniture and that.
Yeah.
Loads of magazines. I mean, like a newsagent's.
Yeah.
In the middle of the room on a table. Loads of them. So I'm looking through, and there's the top quality ones, your Esquire, GQ, Classy, Yacht Weekly, all that. Country Life. Boys.
Boys.
There's one there, yeah. Boys. What's that? Right, lifted up like the one on top of it. And it's like Boys with a Z. Two fellas stood there, looking, sort of Italian looking.
Yeah. Right.
Remember Brother Beyond? That sort of look.
Right.
Yeah.
Sort of greasy hair.
It's a
going
cracking
back.
reference there.
Dungarees on.
No shirt then.
No shirt, just dungarees sort of unbuttoned, hanging down a little bit.
Sure.
So no one else is about. I'm never going to buy a magazine like that.
You're going to tell us you looked through a
You
gang
thought I'd have a
magazine?
I had a little look, just because I thought, like I say, it's one
You're
chance.
always looking to learn, aren't you? You're always looking to learn.
Yeah.
Always open, there might have been something in there that I go, right, I get it now, I understand why they like doing that or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So she said I was going to, 10-minute wait, I can have a quick flick through. Picked it up, had a look. Still none the wiser.
Why?
Well, what did you see when you opened it up?
Just loads of, like I've said to you before about, I don't know why they like looking at knobs when they've got one of their own.
Right.
There's no surprises there, you're not going to go, oh, that's
Sure. Yeah.
nice. Lots of that.
Yeah, they can't get to it, can they? They can't get to their own.
Who can't?
Well, if they want a little chew, a little nosh, they can't get to their own, can they? They break their back.
But they can't get to this fella's in the magazine. It's only a picture, they're just looking at it, they might as well look at their own. That's what I mean. Yeah, just have a look at it. They just stood there, they're not up to anything, they were just sort of stood there. Some had like car oil on the face. There was one sat on a don't know, just like a mechanic type thing. Car oil on the face and like rubbed on the chest and that.
Sure.
Knob out.
Yeah.
There was someone sat on like one of them square things of hay.
Oh yeah.
Sat there, like sort of sat on it, straddling it.
Yeah. That must have been uncomfortable.
Again, knob out.
Yeah, just looking like it's normal.
That's
Sort of
crazy.
like
No
that.
farmer walks around like that.
What was the other one? There was motorbike. They always like them.
Yeah.
So I'm going through and then like the content is all puns.
Right.
It's all it's a couple of weeks ago. Should I wrote some down? Everything was to do with knob.
Right.
That's the only bit they're interested in the male body.
Look at this bloke
It's
driving
not-
this huge throbbing thing. The bike's not bad either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all that,
yeah.
loads of them. It was just cock, just 100%. Like let's just talk about the knob.
That's a good name for a gay magazine.
100% cock.
100% cock.
Did it not at any moment sort of maybe slightly unnerve you that the doctor might come in and see you reading boys?
No,
Or-
because I
or
wasn't.
What about if I walked through? Because I remember once when you were in hospital about to have a tube going down your knob, and you were sitting in your pants with stockings on, and I walked through, and you were horrified. So what if I'd have walked in then and went,
Yeah,
"Carl, what are you
I
doing?"
would have just said, "Look at this. Look at this. It's free."
And I said, "Why did you bring that with you?"
No, I would have just said, "Look, does it look like I brought it with me?" Look
Yeah,
at this."
yes, it does.
Well,
Because I've never,
so you
because
look
I
at,
would never see, you would never see a gay magazine in a doctor's waiting room. So I think you bought that and pretended that it was there.
That's the thing. I was amazed by that because there was no there was no Mayfair or anything. They just catered for like if you wanted a bit of knob action. It was really, I could have complained. So if you're gonna have this, where's a bit of the other?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a bit of this. Where's a bit of the other?
I know one of the things that they had, and I thought they're really struggling with like ideas. They had a Sukoko.
As in Sudoku.
Yeah.
Sukoko.
Surely Sadico is better.
No, because it was like Sukoko.
Yeah, but it's Dick as well.
Subdico.
Yeah.
What? And it was still a Sudoku style puzzle, but it just had that name.
Yeah. It's just
So
everything.
It was just Sudoku, but called Coco. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Now, if I was gay, do you know like
Let's
they
have
say?
a game of Lubo. Let's have a game of Knobopoly.
Noberation.
Noberation. Let's have a game of chess. Cock. Let's have a game of fuckaroo.
Well, that works for either sex.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how we spend our
Okay then,
Christmases.
fuck a poo.
Oh god. Oh god. Human intimacy is a very strange thing because kissing is a bizarre thing, isn't it really? I mean, I don't know what the evolutionary origin of kissing is. You know what I mean? It's quite a sort of strange...
It's like anything,
It's
though,
a
isn't
strange thing.
it? It's because if you start reading about all the weird stuff that goes on, like people who have it away with dead bodies and that, it's because you've planted the seed in your head, and you start going, "Oh, I'll give that a go." Like food, you either want an olive or you don't. Some people will go, "I'll try it." Some will go, "They're not for me."
Do you want an olive? No, but you can shove your hand up my arse so far to touch me up. You haven't got any olives. I have got some olives, but if you are fed up with olives, I've got an arse here going begging, and 30 foot along the Atlantic Canal is a little hard. I like you to touch.
But the thing is, if you give that a go and you enjoy it, then you want to do it again.
Right,
And you've created
do not
stuff.
try and do that. Do not try and stick your hand so far at someone's arse you can touch their heart. There is no point to it. It is a myth that it could happen. You will end up murdering
It's a
someone.
sorry state of affairs where you've got to put that message out there.
yeah. But that's it, isn't it? That's the other thing, isn't it? That you don't hear of animal fetishes and animal phobias. You know, you don't get a lion who's a little bit nervous of antelope. I don't like antelope meat. And yet you have people here who are all those weird things of people who can only have sex with a pavement. Which is a good thing to, you'll never be lonely unless someone suddenly drops you on a desert island and you go, "I'll never see a pavement again." What do you think of that? Those people that just think,
Well, they're just idiots, aren't they?
There are some weird...
You've got some clever ones, you've got a lot of divs. There's more divs on the world than better ones.
Wow, that's a brave sentence to say.
Yeah, he's right though. He's right. As gobbledygook as that was, he's absolutely right. I think Karl isn't a div. I think he's a better one, but doesn't know it. I think it's strange because I think that he's got all the other evolution of the human being, but he doesn't know which side his bread's buttered. He doesn't realise he's cleverer than he is. The number of times I find a theory that he said in gobbledygook, but it's true. I think that I think he's been dealt a bad hand in the brain department. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thoughts, Karl?
Well, your brain's in 2 bits, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I wonder if one half is really good, the other half's messing it up.
Yeah.
That could be the case. That could be the case.
Yeah. Well, it is split into 2. Yeah, and they are responsible for different things.
Yeah.
It's like these sort of families where there's a kind of really bright kid and then a sort of wayward child who just gets into drugs and stuff. Sort of like that up there.
Yeah.
In your head.
Because you have quite sort of out there nebulous thoughts, and you've got a lot of common sense, haven't you?
And just having that other sense of like, this is dodgy.
What spider sense?
Just that sense where you just go, I don't know why, but something's telling me we shouldn't be here. And you go, alright, let's go. And you move from it, and you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
You don't know what's decided that. You know, it's like when you're lost. A part of my brain's got me lost, but then there's another bit that I don't know what it is, where they go left. And you do, and then you go, remember that time when you called me and I said I don't know where I am, and I couldn't concentrate.
Think of that! I called him! I went, Karl, what are you doing? I don't know where I am.
What do you mean you didn't know where you were?
I got lost. I went
in London
wandering.
you got lost?
Yeah. And I went wandering, and then, you know, I
It's
was
when
like,
he first moved into his new place. He was walking back from his old place to his new place, and he didn't know where he was. He tried
How can
to
you
take a
ever
shot.
really get lost in London, though? I'm just as a cabbie.
well, yeah, I don't want to do that because I feel bad pulling one over and then saying, where am I?
Yeah, they don't appreciate that, do they?
But I found my way back, didn't I?
Yeah.
But you told me
20
one
minutes.
time that you much prefer getting lost. You love wandering around and getting lost. You
Yeah,
said that's much better.
go around
It
the
was a cold
cul-de-sac.
day. It was a cold day. I just wanted to be at home. I had things to do. There's a time and place to be lost.
Well, go on.
Well, a place
What's
you
the
don't
place?
know.
What's
and
the place to be lost?
Somewhere you don't know.
Right, good. Okay,
And the
specific.
time?
The time.
Time when you're not in a rush.
Right.
But that time I was in a rush. And I was
And-
cold.
So a typical argument in your head is what? I'm lost. I'll do one side of the brain, you do the other side of the brain, okay, in your head, okay? Karl,
What?
this isn't where we should be. You want to go home, didn't you? This isn't your house, because it's a field. You live in a house, don't you? Why are we standing in a field? This isn't your house. You're meant to go home, but you've walked into a field.
No, but that wouldn't. I've never been that lost. When I'm walking across a field, at the edge of the field, I'd go, hang on a minute, this isn't right. I wouldn't get in the middle. I wouldn't go that far. I'd go, right, I definitely shouldn't be here.
You did once. You were in the middle of a field, and your dad had to rescue you
Yeah,
and carry you
that's when I
through
was
the
a kid because I was reading as I was walking. That's,
And he never read again.
but there's another sense. I was in the middle of nettles there.
Yeah.
I'd walked. It was at my brother's wedding in Cornwall, and I was walking near a cliff edge.
Reading a book.
And okay, so okay. Karl, I know you're enjoying this book. Can I have a word with you? Just look past the book a minute. There's a big drop.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened, and then
Right.
that's when my other senses went, hang on a minute, I'm being stung. Load of nettles and stuff. And I just had to wait there for ages until my dad sort of thought, where's Karl? I was there for about an hour and a half.
You showed a book.
Fuck me like a cartoon.
But why are you wandering off reading a book when it's your brother's wedding?
No, this was like, we were in, I think it was St Ives in Cornwall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in St Ives, and just, you know, it was a nice day and that. There was no telly in the place. It was a horrible house. It was haunted. actually. No, honestly.
No, not honestly. It wasn't haunted. There's no such thing as ghosts. So,
the
you saying honestly it was haunted means fuck all.
It's the weirdest place and weirdest sensation I've ever had. I spoke to a woman called Mrs. Battersby.
Right.
Who sat on my bed keeping me up all night. My mum came up, she said, "You look shattered." I said, "Yeah, I haven't had a kip all night." She said, "Why?" I said, "I've been talking to Mrs. Battersby." She said, "Who's that?" I said, "No, some old woman." Now, I can't remember it now, but that's what I did then. And then,
Sorry, so Mrs. Battersby didn't exist, is that what you're saying? She was the ghost?
Yeah.
Wasn't the landlady?
No, there's no landlady. It's a big house, about 12 bedrooms in it.
Right.
Dead cheap to stay there because it was a wreck. My
Were
mum
you
and dad
ill?
went out
Were you
one
ill?
night.
Did you have flu at the
No,
time?
I had nothing like that. I just...
So you were sitting up, but you were awake, and you were having a conversation with Mrs. Battersby.
What did she look like?
I can't remember. I can't even remember having the chat now.
Right,
But
so-
at the time I was like, oh, she just doesn't shut up. Chatting all night.
So you don't remember this happening? Or you do remember it happening?
No, I remember that, like, if I see my mum now and I mention St. Ives, she'll go, "Oh yeah, Mrs. Battersby." She remembers coming in, because she was older than me, wasn't she? So, to
Who?
her, my mum.
Was she?
How old was Mrs. Battersby? She was older than both of
She
you.
was old because I'm calling her Mrs. Battersby. If she was my age, I'd probably say, "Oh, it's Susan" or whatever.
Right, sure,
You
Miss
call older
Miss
people
Battersby.
by the surname, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, so she kept
How
me
old
up all
were you?
night. Don't know, I'm thinking of pictures at the wedding.
Why do you have to go through other things to just have a memory?
How old do you reckon you were?
I don't understand why you haven't got direct access to your memories.
How old do you reckon you were?
Your mum was older though, yeah?
You must have a vague idea of when this
I'm
event
thinking about
was.
it now, I'm thinking. I'm
Okay.
picturing a picture of myself at this wedding.
Okay.
And how old are you? What are you doing?
How tall were
I'd
you?
say I look about...
How were you?
I'd say I look about 7 or 8, looking at the picture.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So Mrs. Battersby is chatting away to you. You don't remember what she said, but you do remember having the conversation.
No, he doesn't remember it
I
at
don't
all.
remember the chat now.
Well, then
So-
why are you telling us? You
not
must
your
remember it
memory.
because you're telling us about
It's not
it.
your
Because it's a
memory.
memory, my mum's reminded me of it.
Yeah, but all it says is, this is so far removed. This is hearsay that your mum said you spoke to a ghost once, and you don't even remember the ghost.
Mrs. Battersby.
No,
Yeah,
you
no, but
remember
you
the
don't
name
remember
only because
her.
your mum reminded you of
In a
it.
court of law, if there was a ghost court, they go hearsay, thrown out of court.
Right.
You
yeah.
don't have a memory of Mrs.
No,
Battersby.
look, I know that when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I ate a beetle. I ate a beetle because I thought it was licorice. Now, I can't remember that now.
You can't remember that, but you know it happened because your mother told you it happened.
Exactly.
Right. But the fundamental thing is that we can believe we can believe you ate a beetle, right? Because that is something that could happen in real life.
But-
what we're questioning is that you spoke to a ghost.
I thought it was licorice. What sort of beetle was it?
Just one of them standard beetles, just a little black shiny one.
Thing is, right, a couple of years ago, we were in the Ivy, and the food came, and there's a big blob of wasabi, right? It was like called an Oriental hors d'oeuvre, right? And I looked over at Karl, and he started going, drinking water. I said, "What have you done?" He said, "I had that." I said, "That was a blob of wasabi." He said, "I thought it was one mushy pea."
That's a classy restaurant, they're serving one mushy pea.
Well, they do that, don't they?
Wow.
Small portions. It's all trendy, isn't it?
I love the fact that it's exactly the same thing. They've swapped beetle for wasabi
Yeah.
and licorice for pea. You see things, you see something, you
It's a
think...
good job you remember that anecdote, though, because he doesn't.
Exactly, yeah. In years to come, we'll be going, "Ate some wasabi once." Did you?
Yeah.
Well, according to Ricky, I did, yeah. I was in the Ivy. I thought it were mushy pea.
So hang on, I just want to go back to Mrs. Battersby because
What
you
other-
confidently said it was haunted, it was the most haunted place,
Yeah.
but you've got no evidence for it because even you claim you had this encounter, you don't even remember it.
But you don't remember everything in life,
But you
do you?
supposedly had a conversation with a ghost.
I know, but I didn't know. When I was younger, I
But you
didn't think
remember
that
the
was a
specifics
ghost.
of an ant walking around?
Yeah, so you thought, so I see. If you'd have had the memory, it would just be a nice old lady on the end of your bed all night.
Right.
And then...
Then, when I mentioned it, my mum was saying, "What do you mean, Mrs. Battersby? Who's Mrs. Battersby?"
Right?
When you're a kid, you're not terrified, are you?
No.
Nothing scares
I mean,
you.
I'm beginning to think who the fuck is Mrs. Battersby, I must admit. But
So, yeah, that was, but it was a weird place. I mean, there was no telly. All they had for sort of company was a calculator.
Carl, you are the strangest little man that's ever
extraordinary.
lived. Company, he had a company.
No.
There goes Carl with his friend. What's his friend? Oh, it's a little...
It's a Sanyo 4197G.
I love that. That's amazing.
Oh, calculator, do that boobs thing again.
My mum and dad used to go out. I stayed in
Just
there.
shots of him with his calculator on the beach. Like that. It's Sunday. Many beautiful and
4 plus 16, what will it be?
My only friend was a calculator. Oh, God. Just imagine the shots of him in Vietnam. He's carrying Tommy.
When the battery's died, they had to have a funeral for him.
His barrels roll over the floor. Oh, fucking hell. My only company was a calculator. Before I used to knock around with a brick. Oh,